All right, everyone. So WWE back on USA Network. This time it is SmackDown that's on USA Network. And so we're going to give our reaction to the opening SmackDown show. Now, we're not going to do the whole show in terms of everything that was on there. We specifically want to talk about the biggest parts of the show because I just think there's so much to talk about with that. Everything else was great. Everything else was fine. But the Bloodline storyline dominated SmackDown. And Triple H, head off to you for how this was told. So it begins obviously, you have Solo, you have Cody, they're in the ring and they're fighting. And now it was weird when you're watching this match. This is a match that you're thinking this is a pay per view level match that we're getting right at the beginning. And it was so good. The fans were into it. It was a little annoying when you had all the fans were chanting and USA Network was just like, whatever. They were like censoring it kind of, where you couldn't hear anything because my guess is they were swearing or something like that. That was kind of annoying, but the match was fantastic. The fans loved it. Everybody was exciting. And then you see the rest of the bloodline come out, and you see him, Cody Rhodes. He's just getting beat up in the middle of the ring like we've, haven't seen in quite some time. He's getting absolutely the crap beaten out of him. And then Roman Reigns comes out, and when I tell you, everything just felt perfect in terms of timing and the excitement of the crowd. It was so perfect. Roman walks to the ring, and that little close of the door was so perfect. And then obviously Jacob Fatu gets in the ring, and he does the door close thing, but then he gets pulled out. So this sets up the rest of the show. Now there were a lot of other great things, but we're going to fast forward all the way until where we see this contract. And Cody initially does not want to sign the contract. He says, he's done with the bloodline, doesn't want to fight them again. He doesn't need to help Roman. Things change at the end of the show when everybody's out there. He ends up helping Roman. But he helps Roman, signs the contract, and this is setting up a match between Jacob Fatu and Solo and Roman and Cody at Bad Blood. So why I think this was so important and why I think this was, just the main topic to talk about is because we're getting a little bit more of the story now, right? Because a few things we know is that Cody versus Rock and Rock versus Roman, those are going to happen. Solo versus Roman, that's going to happen. Jacob Fatu, he's somewhere in there fighting. So where all of these kind of pieces fall into the puzzle is the interesting thing that we really are trying to figure out. And this gives us a step forward, right? So now we know that they're going to be building this story not separately. It's not going to be Cody separate, Roman separate. It's going to be Cody and Roman kind of as a tag team duo here, fighting members of the bloodline, which was an interesting turn that I did not see coming. I did not see I thought for sure that they were going to end kind of Cody in the bloodline, that little feud, not completely, but just kind of end it a little bit, and they were going to go a separate way and kind of have two parallel stories. But what they're doing instead is they're going to combine both of them together, which will be able to get us The Rock. Will be able to get us The Rock versus Roman, The Rock versus Cody. So this is, I think WWE is playing this perfectly. They just did a fantastic job on this reaction, and I don't know, that's the only thing. That's the only reaction I can have. And I know there's a lot of other stuff on this show, and there was a lot of good stuff on it, but the Bloodline stuff was just so good. I mean, it really just stole this entire show. I mean, the Randy Orton stuff was good. The Nia Jax, Bailey, that stuff was fine. All of that was good. But the Bloodline storyline was just one of a kind, and it's setting up for some exciting pay per view events going forward and some really exciting stuff.